Hey, and welcome back. I'm super excited about today's video. We are doing an extreme organizing makeover to this downstairs storage room.
Hi, I'm Matt. This is my wife, Amy. This is our basement storage room, and it is a mess.
I am pretty embarrassed about this space. I feel like it's a big weight on my shoulders. I feel like this space takes up a lot of my family time. I'm constantly trying to reorganize it without success. Because this is overwhelming. This is like my brain.
This is not that bad because what you can't see, and I'm going to show you some clips, is the rest of their home is beautiful, immaculate, super tidy. This, I feel like, is sort of your hidden shame.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Which is very brave of you to allow us in. I have also a hidden shame room because your organizing style is a ladybug. So you're a shover and a hider. A little hint of butterfly. We have a little ADHD that in common there.
Yeah.
But because when you're feeling overwhelmed in your space, you just don't want to see the stuff because you want calm. And so you're shoving everything in every hidden crevice.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is the manifestation of that. This is like, I'm going to deal with it later.
Yes.
Procrastination.
Yes.
But I'm going to show you how we can clear this out really quickly with some concrete rules. So we're going to declutter with some rules. And the first rule is, if it's a baby item, it's going unless it's sentimental. Okay. The other thing is, if you haven't used it and don't have a place to use it right now, if you haven't used it like in the last year, if you wouldn't buy it again, can we agree that that's going to go?
Yes.
Yep.
You guys are easy.
Yeah. I've got you here. I need to.
Yeah.
We need to do it.
All right. So here's something that I noticed that Amy does that a lot of people do. This is very common. You sort.
Yes.
You take one pile and you're like, this goes here and this goes here and this goes here. But then the piles were just kind of getting mixed in with other things.
And sometimes I forget what the piles are for.
And then you've worked for like an hour, but nothing's been accomplished.
Yeah.
So relatable. So what we do is we immediately take action. As you sort into a donation bin, sort into a this is going to keep bin, and that's going to stop you from taking one pile, making 50 piles that eventually is just going to go back into one pile. Yeah. We're taking action.
Yes.
Okay, so all of this stuff that you had sorted
Can go.
can go. I'm
And
going
this
to
too.
immediately take it out. Why do you think, like, it's only been 2 hours and you've made huge progress? Why do you think you haven't done it before?
It's the motivation. It's somebody here to help push us.
Yeah, and we have tried it before. However, we didn't really have a system per se. We just put stuff on shelves, so then we just go right back to.
And we go, wow, look how clean it looks. We can see the floor. And then it was like, yeah,
Accumulating
but
stuff
where do I
that's
find
over.
everything? Because it was like stuffed in different random spots on the shelves and couldn't find it. So we just would tear things off. And now we're back to where we were again.
Yeah.
That's what I did too.
Cycle.
It's a cycle of shoving, pulling, shoving, pulling. I think what a lot of people think organizing is stacking like Jenga.
Yeah.
Right? Like Tetris. Like, look at everything so neat.
And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, it's what everybody does. But the first step is letting go, and then it's setting up real zones and real systems for the things that matter. Because when you Jenga Tetris your space, you pull one thing out and it all comes toppling down. And because we need fast, easy, simple solutions, you need to be able to chuck it. Yeah. It has to be like you could throw it from the door and it goes away in a neat way. And that's what we're going to set up for you. So I just asked Amy if she's comfortable talking about her ADHD diagnosis because you were just diagnosed
in the spring.
And I was diagnosed recently too, a couple of years ago, and I see so, like, we're twinning. I see so many of the same tendencies, and I think a lot of people also at home can relate. And so I wanted to talk about ADHD because Even if you don't have a formal diagnosis, when you're overwhelmed with clutter, it can mimic the same symptoms of, I don't know where to start. It's very overwhelming, easily distracted, and sort of putting things off.
I would feel paralyzed. I would look at things and say, okay, this is what, and I still do sometimes. If I know I have a big project, I'll look at it. Instead of putting it into small sections and bringing it down like you're showing us today, I would just look at the whole picture. And kind of like when I was doing the art of tidying, another method.
Marie Kondo,
yeah, another method. I would take everything out and put it on my bed, and then it's overwhelmed, be like, I don't want to do this anymore. There's no way I want to do this anymore. So it's just a lot, and I feel paralyzed, and then nothing would happen.
Whether you have ADHD or not, we can work all day and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I've done nothing here today.
Oh no.
No, but you've done everything. You've made all the decisions. You're clearing things out. You're like, that can go, that can go, that can go, that can go. And I think what's really fascinating is why I think you're having so much success today is something called body doubling. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
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 This is one of the most effective tools for people who have ADHD. And unfortunately, your spouse is a connection of yourself. So that doesn't always work for body doubling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're too much of the same person.
Yeah.
So you don't get the same ADHD benefits of body doubling with somebody that is your spouse.
Yes.
But if you're watching this and you're like, okay, I have a room that's like this in my house, or I have to declutter, I need a CAS, I'm here to tell you that it isn't about me. I'm doing nothing. It's having somebody else here with you.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You need a body double.
Yes.
And it can be an online body double. You can be watching a video like this and having somebody, you can do a FaceTime, or you can have a friend come over and just sit with you in the room while you're tackling your space. Like, this is why it's so effective. I'm doing nothing. You guys are doing everything. It's just having somebody here to hold you accountable is keeping you focused.
For sure.
Yep.
So I wanted to share this quick tip with you. It's something that I'm realizing that's obviously very effective. And if you're struggling at home, invite someone over. They are not going to judge you. You're going to be amazed at the progress you can make, just like Amy and Matt.
Check out this huge donate pile. So much stuff is leaving this home. Tell me you're shocked. Are
It
you?
feels good. Yes.
It's awesome.
Crazy.
This is amazing how much stuff we got out of that basement.
It's amazing, but it's kind of sad too to think that like this whole time we just had this and we never even really paid attention to it. The whole time it was just such a heavy thing on us, and we just never big weight, and we never really had the oomph
to do
it together, because this is overwhelming.
Just thinking about it and getting started was the hardest part. Once we were getting into it, then it became so much easier. Just
body doubling,
get it out, right?
And this was maybe 5 hours total?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a whole day, yeah.
Not even a whole day. Super impressive.
Before I show you the after of this amazing transformation, I have to thank Noom for sponsoring today's video. 3 years ago, I had weight loss surgery and lost like 160 something pounds, but then I started having regain because weight loss surgery doesn't change my brain, which is why I'm using Noom. This weight loss program is every day helping me track my food, track my exercise, including cleaning the house and decluttering, but also I'm learning. It's educating me with really short little exercises or little information, little videos every day. So I'm changing the way I think about food and nutrition, and that's having a long-lasting effect.
Right now, you can actually save $25 off any plan, which is a crazy hot deal that won't last. So go to Noom.com and use my promo code ClutterBug25. That's Noom.com/ClutterBug25. I'm going to put a link in the description. You can save today.
So we're back for day 2, organizing this downstairs storage room. I've kicked Matt and Amy out so I can surprise them, but the truth is, they've done 99% of the work, just getting things out. We can actually walk in this space, which is so exciting. And I'm so grateful because they have everything I need already here. This is going to be a $0 makeover. They have shelving, they have bins. It's just about reorganization and rezoning. So right now what I'm going to do is shift around some of the shelving and really start zoning dedicated homes for all of the categories in this space. So Emily and I moved all the shelving and we came up with the zones. We're gonna have one for like paper products, one here for all of the seasonal decor, and over here are for books and crafts. We actually have other zones going on, but for right now, we're gonna start putting all the bins on the shelving and then organizing these zones into the containers. Now I'm organizing the most important thing that you will find in any house, and that is a memory center. It's critical that you have a designated spot in your home for all of your most precious memories. And here in the storage room, we found really important things like the kids' first Halloween costumes, a lot of their artwork from school, photos, yearbooks, so many amazing memories just mixed in with everything else. So here's what you do when creating a memory zone. You create one memory tote for every family member and then maybe an extra one just for photos or combined memories. If you don't have this, then all of your special things are mixed in with things that aren't special, and that is a recipe for disaster. We're actually using all the bins they already have, and the great thing is I'm removing the lids because Matt and Amy are definitely ladybugs, so I'm going with solid containers when they first walk into the space, but the kids are butterflies, so I want all the memories to be really clear and visual, so when they're walking into this space and they have a new photo to put away or maybe a report card, they can also see all the past memories, right? It's so super visual, and all of these containers the family already had. Amy and Matt had a ton of gifts, like so many gifts all over the place down here. So I created a little gift center, put everything on the shelves so it's really visual, like a little store. So when they need a last minute gift or a birthday gift, they can come down and shop their shelf. Everything is now organized. Finishing touches time. We're just gonna add some labels and then bring the family down and surprise them. Okay, I'm making them close their eyes. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes and come on.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So this is your memory center, and I wanted to make it really easy for you because kids come home with a lot of stuff. So they come home and they've got report cards. Okay, this is how you do it. I kept the lids off. So you're organizing.
Yes.
We kept
Makes
the
it
lids
nice
on
and simple.
for photos to keep them dust free, but this stuff, it's about easy access. I want you to be able to go through them and look at the memories, but also put things away really fast and really easy. So you have baseball cards.
Yes.
But now you can like pull them out and go through them.
Yep.
It's all
Yeah,
organized
it's really
and it's really easy to find. It's so many just sweet memories. And now you won't have that clutter upstairs. You just come down and you just toss it away. This was like the nagging to-do list, right? The rest of your home is gorgeous, and now your storage room matches the rest of your space.
Yeah, this is great.
I'm so happy for
so
you.
much.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're feeling really inspired to tackle that nagging to do in your home. We did this fast.
I know.
It
I
was
can't
so
believe.
Yeah, it's
fast.
very fast.
Don't overthink it. Do some body doubling, invite someone over, and get organizing today. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
Are you sure you have to leave?
Yeah, we'd like you to move. We want you to move in. It really inspires you when you see things like this. When somebody comes in and kind of shows you that it's not hard if you just use the tools and, get a buddy, get somebody in here that you don't live with, or that can just kind of sit there and kind of talk to you and ask you the questions of, do you really need that?
I think it's
Well,
built
right
a
out.
lot of confidence as well, because we've tried time and time again, and we wouldn't let everything just go.
So overall, how are you feeling about this experience? Are you having regret about
No.
anything?
Absolutely not.
Not one bit.
I was very anxious about it because this was a big shame for me, not being able to just tackle it on our own. I don't know why I was so worried, because this is just amazing.
Hey guys, thanks so much for those of you who have stayed to the end. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I am inappropriate. Is that the word? I say and do things with, honestly, 90% of the time, it's without me trying. Sometimes it's for comedic effect because, I'm trying to break up an awkward situation or just get a laugh. But most of the time, it's because I think ADHD plays, or dumbness, something, but a thought falls out of my face. And most of my thoughts are 12-year-old boy humor. It's fart jokes, it's butts, it's all things that we shouldn't be talking about at the dinner table. I have a point here. My point is I made inappropriate Christmas pajamas super inappropriate for my family, and I posted it on the internet. And my mother-in-law was like, Cassandra, I don't think that's great for Christmas. And I was jokingly said, Mrs. A, I made you a pair that say tinsel tits, and I made your husband, Mr. A, some that say jingle balls. I know you're gonna love them. I was joking because they're both the most wholesome, sweetest people. They've never sworn. It's like you said balls, kind of people. But when I showed up, they were disappointed that I didn't actually bring the PJs. They secretly want to be inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? Also, Joe's sister-in-law, who is a librarian, and she encompasses everything that you think of when you think of a librarian, also wanted inappropriate PJs for her family. Of course, I made everybody tinsel tits. I didn't sew the tinsel on for my mother-in-law like I wanted to, because she's not that inappropriate, but I really realized that sometimes we all just have to let our freak flag fly. Even if you are normally straight-laced, always behaving, let your hair down, friends. Be a little bad. Wear a swear word on your shirt or something. I don't know what it is, but I gotta be more appropriate, but I think let's all meet somewhere in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments below if you are also sometimes inappropriate, if it shocks people, and if you think everyone's a little inappropriate on the inside, they're just too afraid to let it out. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time.